Sectioning of solids. In this case here, we have a cone. Obviously, when you have a cone or a cylinder, you have to divide your circle into 12 equal parts. Here we use a 60 and here we use a 30. Then we call these generators. So the generators will all meet at this apex. And then it's important that you number your generators because you are actually dividing your circle into 12 equal parts. You can start your numbers from anywhere. That's number 1. I've got no reason why I started there. You could have started your number 1 here. As long as you are able to have numbering as a reference for your work, that's what's important. You'll notice that moving up to the front view, I've got these going up onto the base of the front view. That's the example. So it then means all these have been going up to the base, all these numbers. Then from the base, they go to the apex. So basically, they repeat what is happening here. Now, our main focus here is to how do we cut this so that we see what is happening on the top view. Let us start with line 4A. The cutting plane is cutting at this position. So I'm going to take this straight down to number 4 and find a point here onto number 4. That's where it's cutting. The next point will be my 3 and 5. So the 3 and 5 cuts here. Down we go to point 5. Remember, 5 goes with 3. 5 goes with 3 based on this. And then we move on to the next one, repeating the same process. That's number 2 and 6. So I'll stop at 6 in this case because I'm going down. Stop at 6. I'm going to skip this middle one for a while. I'll come back to it because it has a different method. We're going to 8 and 12. So I'll stop by 8. When I reach 8, I then stop. So that's number 8. Next one, repeating the very same process, is 11 and 9. So I'll stop at 9. And there's my point. Now, here we're cutting the corner on the base of 10. So if I bring this down, there we go. Now I have all the points but 1 and 7. Now 1 and 7 is special point or a special generator or a special line. Simply because if we bring this down, we're not sure as to where we're going to end on this. But what we then do is we use this method where we take the point parallel to the base. Either you go right or you go left. So in this case, I choose to go left. So you can choose which direction you go to. Now when it hits the line of 10 or 4, basically now your point has been transferred onto those, either 4 or 10. I said I'm choosing to go left. So that's where my point is. Now it must come down to the 10 line, and that's where the point is. So just to make sure that this is done special because it's a special point, let's give it a color. so that we can all see what it looks like. Now, all we need is to place our compass at the center or an apex to this yellow line. And there we go. Because this is special again, it must have its own color. So that's what we're talking about. Because this is now different. Now remember, you'll be doing an arc onto these points. So you have done your arc, therefore you don't really need this. Now from here, we have all the points that we need. We're now going to join all these points using a flexicurve. I can start from 4, going to 5, going to 6, it goes on to 7, because that's our point now. It goes on to 8, it goes on to 8, it goes on to 9, it goes to 10. From 10, we're now coming back. It goes to 11. From 11, it goes to 12. From 12, it goes to, there we go, it goes on to 7, goes on to 1. From 1, we go to 2. From 2, we go to 3. Then from 3, it goes back to 4, where you started. And then it's done. What we're going to do now is to make sure that this is drawn dark. That must be drawn dark. So let us choose the right highlighter to highlight it in dark. That's the one. So there we go. Now there's the dark. What we're going to do now, we're going to hatch that area. So say now we are complete with the top view. The hatching is completely done now onto the top view. Mind you, the base of the cone is dark, but the generators are construction lines. But where it's being cut, that's where now we draw dark. Now let us have a look at how you will get the left view. We're going to correspond again these numbers, starting from 4, horizontally project, that's 0.4. Repeat as we go down. We're dealing with now 3 and 5. Now it's 2 numbers. I'll go and stop at 5. Next one is 2 and 6. I'll stop at 2. The next one, which is the middle one, I'll take this number 7 and 1. It goes to 7. I stop at 7. So you keep going down. I go to line 8 and 12. Go to 8 and 12. Now we're coming back in terms of this here. Now I'm on 8, so I'm coming back on 8. Now from here now I go on to 9 and 11. So as I'm coming back, I am now on 9. That's 9. Then 10 is already on the base, so it goes along. So because I can see where these are ending, I'll start with that side. Using my flexicurve or freehand, let's start from 4. If I start from 4, I go on to that point. I'm joining these points. Joining these points, joining those points, going around, joining those points. Now I'm coming down. As I'm coming down, That will be the point. As I'm coming down, that will be the point, and we're back where we started. And done. Now, what we need to understand is that these arrows are indicating that there's a direction you're looking at. Therefore, it means this here is actually taken out. So you are left with the bottom part of this. Now the bottom part here means this top part is gone. That top part is gone. But you don't erase this. I'm doing it so that we understand that this must be drawn dark. And what else will be dark? See there, number 7 to where it's cutting onto the cutting plane is still there. Number 1 as well, which is why that still remains as dark. This still remains as dark. This line 4 is at the back, cannot be seen. That's line 4 is at the back, cannot be seen. However, since it's a cone, we're going to have the center line instead of a hidden detail. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hatch this area that is covered by the circle. Hatching the left view is now completely done. That's dark. Only up to there is dark. Only up to there is dark. Now we need to do the true shape of the section surface. Now, with regards to the true shape of the section surface, these are the distances that we need. Each time we get a generator, we need a distance. That's distance number 1. So you're going to need this distance as well. So eventually you will need the distances where you have these lines where there is a cutting plane. So what you're going to do is we're going to color these so that we can easily identify them. Let's just color these so we know exactly where it ends. Let's color them blue. So the blue indicates as where we're going to take our distances from. Then let's color these as well. Let us color these as well. And last one here, our last 2, let's color these. Let's find a color for these. Let's say we use this color. Now we need the distances first of the blue, from 10 to blue to blue to blue to blue to blue. We've already drawn a horizontal line. So the first thing that I will do here is take this distance. I use my compass, take that distance. So I'm going to take this number 10, and I'm going to take number 10, and I'm going to put it here from the left hand side. Let's assume starting here. So there's our 10 there. So I will simply draw a vertical line as a starting point at any distance that I want. So there's our next point. Actually, we need to count the number of blue lines here from 10. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. So we need 6 brown lines. So we need 6 brown lines. 1 is done. Repeating the same process. Let's start from 10 to line blue. That's number 2. That's number 2. So I will always use 10 as my position. I will always use 10 as my position. So we're going to move faster now, always using 10 to start. I'm now going to get the third line. That is my third line. I'll always use my number 10 as a starting point, and now I'm on my third line. 1 2 3. I hope you understand that line. I'll always use 10. Now I'm on line 4. I will always use 10. So then I take this distance, I take that distance, and that's my 10. Then always use 10, take the distance. Now how many lines have I used? 1 2 3 4. So now I'm on line 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. Fifth blue line. So I take that distance, line 5. There we go. I am now on the last line. The last line, using the distance from 10. From 10, I think here it's not sitting. Our compass didn't touch the right point. That's 10. And let's use a compass properly. Then we go to the last one, which is that blue line. Of course, we're going to take this to 10. And what did we say? We said we're going to draw these vertical lines at any distance. So these are my compass points. So now finally, I don't really need these circles because those were to assist me find the points. And I've got my 6 blue lines. Actually, these will be my brown lines in actual fact. Because now I need to understand that these are numbers. So I need to label these for me not to get lost. We have now numbered all our lines accordingly, and then the color is now brown because those are the distances that we're going to use. This line, we call it x1, y1. It's coming from the xy line or from the base. In this case, it's the base. So what we want the distance from 10 to where it's cutting. That's the point. So we're going to take that 10 and take it to 10. Basically, what we're saying is this. We're saying this is where 10 will end in terms of the cutting. I will quickly remove that each time so that it doesn't get busy. The next point means you need 2 distances. This is now 11, 9. So let's hide what we don't want. So from this point base, let's go to 11. That's 1. We need that distance. And let's take another one for 9, and going to 9, that's our distance. That's where, remember, we're dealing with the brown line now. So let's take both of these distances with our compass and let's take it to their respective position. This is 9 and 11. There's 9 and 11. Now let's see. It's there and it's here. So basically what I will do with mine, I will take that away, that I know that way it is, and I will take this away. And let's remove this so we don't get confused. Let's remove these as well. The next set of lines is the brown line. Remember, follow the brown line 2, rather 12 and 8. Brown, that's the point for 12, and repeat from the brown, and this is the point for 8. So I'm gonna take these two distances and I'm gonna move it onto 12, 8. Where's 12, 8? This is 12 and 8. Is it touching 8? No. So what you're going to do is extend. Remember we said this must be any distance. So it means this, that is where I am. And I'm going to now remove these. Next set of points is 7 and 1. So the brown line, 7 and 1. 7 and 1. Now we're going to 7. That's 7. I'm going to take these two distances. I'm going to place them onto 7 and 1. 7, 1. 7, 1. Is it touching the long line? No. Therefore, I must extend it. There we go. Now, I need to take away this for me so that I don't get confused. Remove that. Therefore, now I know where my point will be. Now, I'll go to the next set of points, which is 6 and 2. So 6 and 2, this is 6 and 2 here, brown line, base, it goes to 2. And repeat, base, it goes to 6. And that is 6. Take these distances. Remember here we're using our compasses. Take those distances to 6, 2. That's it. Now I know where it's cutting. At the end, it's there and it's here. So now I don't need these. They will disturb me. Take it away. The last two lines is we actually forgot to change this one into brown. This was meant to be brown as well. This is meant to be brown. There we go. So now we know that's the point that we're dealing with. So there's no confusion about the brown. That's brown, which goes into 3. Another brown that will go on to 5. Now move these points. Now they're going to 5, 3, and this is 5. Therefore, now I know where they end. Now I know where they end. 1 there and 1 here. Now I must take away the circles because they're going to confuse me. Last one, number 4. That's number 4. From the base, that's where number 4 is. Going down to 4, that will be my distance. Then I'm going to take this from 4. From 4, need to be very sure. Yes, that's from 4. Brown, and there we go. Now I know where is cutting line 4. So now I need to bring my flexi curve. If you don't have a flexi curve, you do it freehand. Now I'm going to join these points. I'm going to join these points and it gives me this shape. and this is a shape I'm getting. That's a shape I'm getting, and we back and that. Now there's my true shape. This true shape is a true shape for this section surface only. Now I will then section my true shape using a 45 set square. Now there's my hatching using my 45 set square, which I can now make sure that this has been drawn dark. I will then label my true shape below, and I'm going to label this true shape and name it true shape. Let's do this correctly. It's a true shape, caps, true shape, and you're done. There's your true shape. Correct spelling, S, true shape. And this must be in 3mm guidelines. 3mm guidelines. 3mm guidelines. It must be in 3mm guideline. Let's do it correctly again. Let's delete and write 3mm so that it becomes bigger. Right, there we go.